You are watching the God Channel.
Alright, let's do this. How perfectly suitable for our geopolitical situation in the year 2023. Shooting Russians in the head is back in style. And so naturally they gotta bring back Goldeneye. Oh, there it is, dude. The logo of that company that used to make things. Whoa. Well, he's gonna do the cool thing from the movie. Here it comes. He's gonna get sniped, maybe. Ah yes, it's just like I remember it. So here we got the colorful cast of characters. I'm glad they didn't have to scrub Pierce Brosnan's likeness from this game and replace him with Daniel Craig like they had to do in that other James Bond game. You know, licensing and all that. Oh look, they got John Oliver in this game. Ha 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 ha. It did kinda look like him, you have to admit. Damn, son. No, don't laugh with that. That's literally a joke from the Fred movie. We can do better than that. Get a good look at that briefing. If you're a cool Kotaku reading gamer, you need proper context for what you're doing. You need to know that the actions of the main character are morally justified. So, here we are, the low-poly mountains of Soviet Russia in all their beauty. But wait, before we can get started, I just gotta check the time and also fiddle with the interlacing settings in OBS. It's like the start of Blonic. Hey Sonic, do you have the time? The fact that completely bonkers video just started with something so completely mundane, it's just poetry. Total poetry. You can't see it, but I'm doing that thing where you make the O sign with your hands. Couldn't have done it better. But enough about Blonic. Let's actually talk about the freaking game. I came here to hear about the freaking game, and this... trying to do an impression of Carl from Aqua Teen. Anyway, so, this game taught an important lesson to the gaming industry, a lesson that was not learned, unfortunately. And that lesson was, movie tie-in games do not have to suck. The reason that they always suck so bad when you're playing like, Rugrats, the movie, the game, the reason they suck so bad is because the games are rushed in order to release coincidentally, to release alongside the movie. But Goldeneye here, it completely bucked that trend where Goldeneye the movie released in 1995, and then the game didn't come out until 1997. So they actually had 2 years to make a real game and not some kind of crap, and everybody loved it. And the gaming industry learned nothing from all of this. I think Superman 64 probably came out that following year after this. Who needs quality? You're gonna buy it anyway. Fuck you. Those 2 guys are pretty well entrenched in that pillbox there. Have to delicately aim into that small slit. And clearly I'm not doing too well. One could say I don't have a whole lot of real-life experience trying to delicately aim something within a small slit. We clowning this bitch. Take your sensitive ass back to Chugga Conroy. Anyway, so, speaking of Russian, Soviet things, keeping with the theme here, I was watching, The Death of Stalin starring, Steve Buscemi the other day, and, even though it's a comedy movie and it's greatly exaggerated and everything, it's kind of given me a certain sense of optimism for how certain geopolitical events are going to turn out in the future. You realize the Russians are in fact a silly and dysfunctional people. We got nothing to worry about. You know, one of my Atari videos from last year actually got banned in Russia somehow. I think it's because it had the Star Wars music in it. It must have triggered something, so people can't watch it over there. I didn't know the sanctions went that far. Okay, here's our chance to snipe a guy, maybe. I feel like it doesn't give you enough time to zoom and shoot when the guys are running at you. I guess I'm a bit rusty in my TF2 skills when I used to play the sniper. Did you hear they updated TF2 recently? I gotta look into that. I was a big fat TF2 guy back in the day. Back from like 2009 to 2016. So anywho, yeah, Cold War themed media is back in style. Gotta get your fix of this now before things change again someday. You never know what kind of cultural changes may happen. 15 years from now, things could take a complete 180, and suddenly it might be offensive to make the Russians the bad guys in a video game, and they'll have to retroactively go back and censor Goldeneye and replace all the Russians with Australians or something to make it more socially conscious. You never know what the future may hold, so just appreciate this Cold War throwback pop culture moment while you can. Well, perhaps appreciate isn't the right word to use, considering that the reason Cold War themed media is back in style is because there's a real life war going on right now that's left hundreds of thousands dead. Yeah, perhaps appreciate wasn't the right way to phrase it, but you get what I'm saying. So anyway, there are different objectives you can do in each mission depending on which difficulty you pick. Since I picked out the Nancy Boy difficulty, we don't even have to do anything, we just have to get to the end alive. They basically expect nothing out of you. But if I had picked a higher difficulty, one of the goals would have been to shoot out those red alarms that you saw earlier. That was the big conflict of the movie, after all. James Bond had to get rid of all of those damned red alarms. Who cares about the gigantic space satellite that's gonna set off a giant EMP that's gonna wipe out all of England? Let's get all these damned alarms out of here first. Giving me a headache. Fuck. Yeah, you guys ever see Goldeneye? Good movie. It's also the first movie in the Bond franchise to introduce actress Judi Dench as Miss Moneypenny. And then Judi Dench also later went on to be the voiceover in the Time Machine ride at Disney World. Yes, exciting stuff. Oh, get out of here. That's a jump scare if there ever was one. Okay, we could have ended the level probably like 90 seconds ago. If not sooner. Our only objective is to leave. I guess I was just kinda artificially extending things. So let's do some of that, huh? As the zebra says in that episode of SpongeBob, let's get out of here. Okay, here we go. Just kidding, that wasn't actually it. Now it's gonna happen for real. Just kidding, that wasn't it either. This is like that scene from Family Guy where they jump away from the exploding house and it shows it from like 50 different angles.